Welcome to Racing X. Today we're counting down our picks for the best sim racing games that you should check out. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Grand Prix Legends. Okay, this game may be ancient, but it's still a legend for a reason. Released in the late 90s, its visuals were jaw-dropping at the time and honestly still hold up surprisingly well. However, the driving model was brutally realistic. So if you cut your teeth on GPL back then, you'll have no trouble jumping into today's hardcore sims. Not only that, but the community also has kept it alive, adding new tracks, cars, and updates that keep it fresh. So yes, it's not just nostalgia, it's proof that great physics and smart design can outlive entire console generations. Live for Speed. Okay, this game is old as hell, but believe it or not, there's still a crew of hardcore sim racers out there who swear by it. In short, this game is the unsung hero of racing sims, standing tall while others have either evolved or faded into obscurity. And as you can see, it's got those spot-on driving physics that keep it kicking with a dedicated community. Oh, and Valtteri Bottas, an actual F1 racer, used to play this one up until 2010 when he was finally hired as a test driver for the Williams Formula One team. Project Motor Racing. Now this is one of those upcoming sim racing titles that has people talking, mainly because it's promising mod support on day one, and yeah, that's a big deal in this genre. But here's the thing, right now, it's all just talk. There's hype, trailers, and promises, but no real game in our hands yet, so don't get carried away. Wait until it actually drops before deciding if it deserves a spot in your library. And if it delivers, great. If not, at least you didn't waste energy hyping it up. In short, stay curious, but keep your expectations low. RENNSPORT. Okay, this title came in hot with some hype, but let's be honest, it fizzled out pretty quickly. People still say it has potential, but right now it doesn't have the edge to stand next to the big established sims. Simply put, the physics and features just aren't there yet. But the good news is, it's free to play, so you're not risking anything by giving it a shot. So yeah, if you set your expectations low, you might enjoy what's already there. Just don't expect it to replace your main sim anytime soon. Assetto Corsa EVO. Now, this title is being hyped as the next big step in sim racing, and for good reason. It promises open-world driving, the legendary Assetto Corsa physics, a proper career mode, and plenty of new features fans have been waiting for. But right now, it's not the finished revolution people are imagining, though you can already see glimpses of what it could become. So yes, if the devs actually deliver on their vision, EVO has everything it needs to surpass the original Assetto Corsa and dominate the sim racing scene. For now though, it's strictly for early adopters. KartKraft. Okay, I bet you thought this clip was just GoPro footage of someone tearing up a kart track in real life. Yeah, I was blown away too. It looks insanely realistic, especially in VR. And sure, kart racing doesn't pack the same intensity as throwing around a full-blown race car, but it's still surprisingly fun. The handling feels tight, the tracks are authentic, and the immersion is on another level. So yeah, if you're part of that small but dedicated kart racing fan base demanding immersiveness, this is one game you can't skip. RaceRoom Racing Experience. Now this is one of the most underrated sims in the genre. The sheer variety of cars and tracks is excellent, and when everything clicks, it feels amazing. But let's not sugarcoat it. The lack of basics like day-night cycles or dynamic weather hurts. The graphics also look a bit dated, and the AI swings wildly between brilliant and brain-dead depending on the matchup. And online, pretty much a ghost town. Still, it's a solid sim with excellent contact physics, stable netcode, and it's free to play. Plus, it runs great on older systems, even in VR. rFactor 2. Okay, this is one of those sims that feels ancient the moment you boot it up, yet somehow reminds you why it still has such a loyal fan base. The UI is clunky, the menus feel like they're from another era, and getting mods to work is a gamble. Some are brilliant, others are straight up broken. But once you're actually on track, the physics and force feedback can still outshine almost everything else. It's that good. The DLCs are excellent, but brace yourself, they're also expensive. In short, it's dated, messy, and costly, but still brilliant when it counts. Richard Burns Rally. The thing about RBR is that it's already a great game on flat screens, but in VR, it's on a whole other level, especially if you're into rally simulation. And yes, since this is an old game with no official support, everything it does now is thanks to the active modding community and the dedicated sim racers who keep improving it. So if you don't mind outdated graphics and just care about physics and pure rallying, definitely give this one a try. Oh, and make sure you get the Rally Sim Fans version.
70. Heading left, bump 100.
rFactor. Okay, this game might be old, but it's still a gem if you're broke and stuck with a potato PC or some low-end laptop. The physics are surprisingly solid even today, and it runs smoothly on hardware that would choke on modern sims. But what really keeps it alive is the modding community. Some legendary mods exist only on this one and never made it to the second game, which gives this game its own unique edge. And sure, the graphics are ancient, but if you want a lightweight sim with endless mods, this one still delivers big time. Rims Racing. Most gamers don't even know that this game exists, and that's a shame. But let me tell you, this is hands down the most realistic bike sim you can get your hands on. I mean, we're talking about simulating oil viscosity changes with heat, how that impacts the bike's performance, and tracking wear and tear on over 500 mechanical parts. Not only that, every little component also matters, and if you ride hard, those parts are going to degrade too. So don't expect it to hold your hand. This one is for those who live and breathe bikes. Automobilista. Okay, this game is basically rFactor 1.5, built on the same engine but with better graphics, improved FFB, and a more polished feel overall. And yes, it still carries some of the same quirks as the original rFactor, like those random, low-speed spins that come out of nowhere, and the twitchy throttle response in high-powered cars. But despite those oddities, most cars feel surprisingly good to drive, and the variety is strong. On top of that, tons of rFactor 1 mods got ported over, giving AMS1 a huge pool of content. So yeah, it's dated but definitely worth revisiting. Le Mans Ultimate. Now, this one is the new kid on the block, and like any new kid, it's desperately trying to prove it belongs, but it hasn't dethroned the old kings yet. However, it does have killer VR that'll make you forget you're just sitting in your room wearing a headset, looking like you're escaping from reality. And yes, it's built for endurance racing, which means if you're allergic to long races, you might bail early. But for open-minded players willing to give this one a shot, this could earn a permanent spot in your collection, assuming you survive the learning curve, of course.
Free into right 5. 5, 80.
WRC Generations. This game sits right on the edge of being a full-fledged simulator, but let's be clear, it's not, and that's on purpose. The devs weren't trying to build a tool for real-world rally training, they wanted to deliver a great experience with the official WRC license. And in that sense, it works. Also, if you want a proper single-player career mode tied to the championship, this game nails it. And handling-wise, it's not quite at the insane realism of RBR with NGP mods, but it comes close. So yeah, with the right expectations, this game could be fun.
Right 5 and left 1.
Ride 4. Now, out of all the ride games, this one is touted as the one with the most realistic physics. It's not the easiest, that's for sure, but if you crave a more punishing and demanding motorcycle racing game, then you might want to take a look at this one. And statistics show that 75% of players quit the game in under 4 hours of gameplay, never to return. So, yeah, now you understand why this series never became mainstream. So, get this one if you think you have what it takes to play this game, or if you're a bit delusional.
Left side. Still there.
iRacing. Okay, this one is the gold standard for anyone who wants to take online sim racing seriously. This isn't for casual cruising or dive bombing AI, it's where you line up against drivers just as committed as you. The structured licensing system also keeps races clean and the competition is intense. The catch? It's not cheap. Between the sub fees and the endless drip of paid content, you'll spend more here than on most sims. But if you're serious about improving and want to experience organized online racing at its best, it's definitely worth it.
Clear right side. Okay, Luca, in proper lane now. Looks like it's getting harder.
Automobilista 2. Now, this is easily one of the best sims for VR because it actually works out of the box. No endless tinkering, no 10-step guides from Reddit, just slap on your headset and race. And if you can crank the settings to ultra, good luck convincing your friends it's not real, because this thing looks ridiculously good. And sure, you could spend hours tweaking mods in other sims, but why bother? This one saves you the headache and still delivers gorgeous visuals and smooth gameplay. So yes, if you want addictive VR racing with gorgeous visuals, this is it.
Alright. Still there.
Assetto Corsa Competizione. Okay, this one is a fantastic sim racer with tight handling, laser scan tracks, and VR that's buttery smooth if your PC is built by NASA. But the problem? It's forever stuck in the shadow of the original Assetto Corsa, which basically turned into the modding playground of the gods. Not only that, but this one also focuses solely on GT racing, so it's a bit more niche, and that keeps some players from jumping ship entirely. But if you're into serious no-nonsense GT competition and want VR that makes you feel like you're actually strapped in, this game absolutely delivers.
Jump 120, slowly.
EA Sports WRC. Now, this game is basically Dirt Rally 2.0's younger, flashier cousin. You know, the one that hits the gym, dresses better, but also eats way more GPU for breakfast. Yeah, it's more demanding on your system, but the payoff is worth it. Better visuals, more detail, and a rally experience that just looks gorgeous in motion. And here's the thing, most of the bad reviews aren't even about the gameplay, so you're good there. So yeah, underneath all that noise, you've got one of the most solid modern rally sims out there, provided your PC doesn't burst into flames first.
It's a 3 left and 5 right short.
Project Cars 2. Alright, this one is also one of the most legendary games in racing simulation history, and it shows in the gameplay. And just so you know, this game used to be the hot shit, but it was basically killed off by whoever owns the IP, just so they could push the newer, more arcade-like successor, which is Project Cars 3. However, you can still get it if you're familiar with a certain fit girl who loves to repack things. Or maybe you'll find it on some sites that sell Steam keys, though I can't guarantee they're safe.
Turn 3 right tightens narrow. Into 3 left of a jump.
Dirt Rally 2.0. Okay, this game is the go-to choice for realistic stage rally racing simulation, especially for VR players with high-end PCs. And if you use a proper steering wheel, a high-end VR headset, and, while you're at it, throw in a Racing Motion sim platform that costs around $8 grand, you'll feel like you're actually in a rally car. Except, instead of getting paid, you'll be spending your hard-earned cash just to experience it. Seriously, this is the ultimate VR rally sim game, with no real competitors. So, if you're gonna do it, go all in.
200.
Assetto Corsa. Now, this is basically the GTA of racing games, where you can mod it into almost anything. Want to run full Formula 1 seasons with every car and track? Done. Want to replace your car with a literal T-Rex? Yep, that exists, and yes, you need to check it out. Anyway, the base game already nails driving physics, but the modding scene turned it into an endless playground where the only limit is how far you're willing to scroll through mod websites. And if you add high-end VR and ultra-realistic graphics mods, the game becomes borderline indistinguishable from real life.
Caution, 2 right opens, 2 right tightens, 40.
BeamNG.drive. Okay, this one isn't really a racing sim. Hell, it's not even a proper racing game, but if you treat it as a rally simulator with some of the best vehicle physics ever made, it suddenly makes sense. The soft body physics system makes every crash, spin, and jump feel brutally real, and that's the main appeal. And with endless modability, you've got a sandbox that can be anything, from a rally test bed to a full-on demolition derby. So no, it's not your traditional racing sim, but if you want realism in how cars behave, nothing beats this one.
Into 3 left, don't cut, and flat right.
NASCAR Racing 2003 season. For those of you who don't know, this game is still the go-to sim for anyone serious about stock car racing. The physics still feel incredibly solid today, making it the gold standard for NASCAR fans. And what's kept it alive for over 2 decades is the community. Tons of mods, custom tracks, and constant updates that make it feel anything but outdated. You can even run it in VR now, which is insane given when it came out. So yes, if you're looking for a NASCAR racing sim, this one is still the undisputed king. GTR 2. Okay, this game was basically the Assetto Corsa of the 2000s, long before Assetto Corsa even existed. Back then, it set the standard for realistic physics, deep car setups, and laser-focused attention to proper GT racing. And sure, the visuals and interface are showing their age now, but once you're behind the wheel, it's still shockingly playable. The driving model holds up well, and the modding community kept it alive long after its prime. Simply put, if you want to experience what sim racing fans were obsessed with 2 decades ago, GTR 2 is still worth a go. So do you agree with our picks? Check out these other videos from us and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.